Hello everyone, I'm Jinyu. Welcome to Jinyu Talks about the spleen and stomach. As we all know, there are so many people suffering from spleen and stomach diseases, which is why we often hear the saying, 9 out of 10 people have stomach issues. Moreover, 80 of these patients may be misusing medication, such as self-prescribing as their own doctor, taking painkillers and anti-inflammatory drugs indiscriminately, or using some secret or folk remedies without the guidance of a professional. To be frank, every year, there are quite a few deaths caused by improper medication use. After talking about this, we have also found that many people pay attention to symptoms such as hypertension, diabetes, and cardiovascular and cerebrovascular diseases, focusing particularly on these health issues because everyone knows these diseases are quite harmful. But have you noticed that when its spleen and stomach diseases start to quietly increase, and they have always posed a significant threat to human health? However, the reason why many people do not fully pay attention is that in our concept, we think that most people have stomach diseases. And they are not serious diseases, just minor illnesses. When most people feel uncomfortable in the stomach, they diagnose themselves, oh, I feel bad in the stomach. Take some anti-inflammatory drugs when it hurts, and it's fine after eating, right? Many people, of course, when they have symptoms like gastric acid, nausea, burping after eating, and indigestion, don't care at all, thinking it's not a disease. No measures are needed. Anyway, after a period of rest, eating less, it will be good. It is this negligence and this attitude of not caring that has led to an increasing number of people with persistent gastritis and gastric ulcers. So, the belief that stomach diseases are not a big deal, everyone has them, and they don't care about this view. So, there is a big misunderstanding. Most Chinese people know the saying 9 out of 10 people have stomach issues. Some fans may say, Teacher Lee, are you exaggerating? In fact, I tell everyone that there are many people with spleen and stomach diseases now. Middle-aged people, the elderly, and even some children. We must admit that out of 10 people, 9 may have poor stomachs. Is this an exaggeration? I tell you, it's not an exaggeration at all. Let alone 9 out of 10 people have stomach issues. Now we may have 10 out of 10 people with stomachs, more or less. There are some problems. Why do I say this? Otherwise, I would tell everyone that our understanding is a big misunderstanding. Most people think, I don't have stomach pain, I'm not bloated, I don't have acid reflux, the stomach feels normal. Then there must be no stomach disease, right? But I tell you, this is not right. Because our understanding of stomach diseases, including the definition of the stomach, is too narrow. The stomach we're talking about now refers to an organ in anatomy, and in the Huandi Neijing, it attributes the functions of our large and small intestines to the stomach. Zhang Songjing said in Treatise on Cold Damage and Miscellaneous Diseases. Wei has a history of making. Everyone says, Teacher Lee, what are you talking about? I tell you it's about what feces are. Where is the feces? In the intestines. So the stomach includes the function of the intestines, and constipation is the result of constipation. Let's look at it. Whether it's constipation or diarrhea, although it manifests as an intestinal disease, in the final analysis, it is still a spleen and stomach disease. For example, a common symptom is a bitter taste in the mouth. Many people feel bitter. bitter in the morning and usually feel bitter at this time, we will associate it with whether the gallbladder is not good. In fact, traditional Chinese medicine says that this is the manifestation of gallbladder qi invading the stomach. The results of Western clinical examinations may be bile reflux gastritis. Some people say they're on fire and they have no taste for eating anything. And traditional Chinese medicine believes that the spleen opens the orifice in the mouth. If the spleen and stomach are interdependent, then this can be a manifestation of stomach disease. There are also people who feel chest tightness, including difficulty breathing. Let everyone think, is it different from the chest tightness of the heart? Because it shows that the chi is not smooth, the temper is irritable, the mood is not good, people are depressed. People feel extremely chest-tight, want to cry and be depressed and sleep poorly at night. There are also people who often feel tired. Many people think, oh, I'm tired. Is it anemia? Is the blood sugar high? Why is there no strength? I tell everyone that they should consider more. This may also be related to stomach diseases. Because the spleen is in charge of the muscles, is the lack of strength related to the spleen? Should we consider whether the spleen and stomach are not harmonious and there will be weakness in the limbs? There are also people who look at the face and say that the face has become yellow and thin. Under the premise of no other serious diseases, what is the first reaction? It is a spleen and stomach disease. If a person is too fat, it may be the cause of spleen dampness and stomach dryness. Integrating the above symptoms, we can now talk about, is it 9 out of 10 people with stomach issues? Or we say more or less, everyone may have some stomach problems. Do you still think these are alarmist words? I think about it, it should not be. In fact, compared to these diseases, the reasons for the high incidence of spleen and stomach diseases are easier to understand. We often say, what? Its diseases come from the mouth. Many people often interpret this sentence as saying that we may have eaten something unclean, eaten bacteria, and caused people to get sick. In fact, this is only one aspect. There are other aspects, not only bacteria do we eat, such as fried, barbecued, too cold, too hot, too hard. These can all cause diseases. And where do the foods we eat first arrive? First is the mouth, the second is the esophagus, and the third is not entering our stomach. Traditional Chinese medicine says that the stomach is the sea of acceptance and corrosion. That is, the food we eat in the stomach needs to be processed. We need to chew and crush it with our teeth and then stir it further. In the stirring of food, we need to heat the cold stomach with hot air. And for too hard things, we need to stir the stomach and increase the strength of stirring. This has invisibly increased the burden on the stomach and increased the workload. Like a machine, after working for a long time, what happens? Why does it change? What is aging? We have talked about this with everyone before, modern people, especially in the turbid and toxic living environment. We often say that the turbidity and toxicity of heaven are mainly related to air pollution and our breathing. Many fans may say, Teacher Lee, what does this have to do with the stomach? I tell everyone that in Huani Naijing Suwon it is said, the harmony of heaven and earth is called a person. That is to say, the key of heaven and earth blends together and people have life. The key of heaven refers to the oxygen inhaled by the lungs, and the key of the earth refers to the essence of the spleen and stomach, which is the various nutrients brought by food. When the air we breathe, that is, the key of heaven, is polluted, of course, when we blend with the key of the earth, that is, the spleen and stomach, it will affect the stomach key and produce evil, which we can understand as turbidity and toxicity, which leads to our stomach diseases. Now, the views of traditional Chinese medicine and Western medicine are not so different in many aspects. However, there is an astonishing similarity on the point of the spleen and stomach. Let's first look at it. We believe that whether it is eaten or breathed in, it produces evil in the body, and this evil is the direct cause of stomach diseases. Look at what we eat. A large amount of grease, sugar, rumors, a large number of bacteria, residues of fertilizers and pesticides, air pollution, first and second-hand cigarettes, excessive formaldehyde, and so on. All these things will have a huge impact on our stomach, and these things will make our body produce a substance. What is it? This is turbidity and toxicity. At this time, some people may say, our diet is very healthy. We never eat or drink indiscriminately. We don't smoke at all, and we don't have any bad habits. At this time, I don't have turbidity and toxicity, right? I tell everyone that turbidity and toxicity are not completely from the outside. Traditional Chinese medicine talks about the 6 external pathogens and the 7 internal injuries. So when people get sick, let's go back and look. Our traditional medicine summarized this evil as early as 20 years ago. In fact, it is what we now say, turbidity and toxicity. This turbidity and toxicity can be summarized in one sentence. That is, everything is too much or too little will produce turbidity and toxicity. We have all said that the result of too much or too little is not good. For turbidity and toxicity, it is a wrong existence. From this point of view, we gradually realize that the views of traditional Chinese medicine and Western medicine are similar, whether it is the ancients or the people of today. The understanding of this point is the same. To put it bluntly, the emergence of spleen and stomach diseases is really closely related to our living environment. What kind of living environment do we have now? I often say that the living environment is turbid and toxic. The turbidity and toxicity of heaven, the turbidity and toxicity of the earth, and the turbidity and toxicity of people. If everyone knows that their spleen and stomach diseases are related to the living environment, you can also leave a message in the comment area to communicate with me. Let everyone have a clear understanding of the turbidity of heaven, earth, and people. Speaking of spleen and stomach diseases, how can we solve the problem from the source? First, we must eliminate turbidity and toxicity and protect the spleen and stomach. According to this concept, we must pay great attention and understand that spleen and stomach diseases are definitely not a minor illness. So, spleen and stomach diseases must be taken seriously. Well, in the next program, I will talk with our fans about the high incidence stage of spleen and stomach diseases in modern people. What should we do? I will give some simple and feasible methods to those friends who are eager for the health of the spleen and stomach, so that everyone can get rid of the problems of the spleen and stomach as soon as possible. Well, let's talk about this topic first. Thank you all for watching. I hope you subscribe to my channel and see you next time.